Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Leslie Nicole and I do weekly videos, 2 videos a week. Makeup artist, bodybuilder, wellness, sharing all the things of my life, vlogger, all the things. But if you are a returning fabulous person, then thank you so much for constantly clicking on my videos. I greatly appreciate it. So, as you guys saw by the title, let's get into the video. I wanted to make this video for a very long time. I get a lot of questions on my first ever bodybuilding competition. I did do a recap of my post-show thoughts on the whole day, so I can leave that, I think that's right here, or right here. No, right here. I can leave that right there for you guys to check it out. It was a great experience. I definitely wanted to do a pros and cons kind of video, so here we go. So we're gonna start with the cons first, and then we're gonna go to the pros, because I definitely wanna leave this video on a really high, lighter note, if that makes any sense. So one of the first cons of competing is the amount of hard work you gotta put in. As in, you have to be, it's not a con, but it's also like a pro, but it's more of you have to put in the work. You have to be focused, you have to be in that mindset going into it, nothing will stop you. So it's a con because you can't just willy-nilly it. Is that even a word? You can't just go in there thinking oh yeah, whatever, because I know the hard work that you have to put into it. And because I heard when I was sitting with Brett, who is my coach, I'll leave him linked down below if you guys ever want to do competition. He was on the phone with somebody and he was talking about some competitor, and then they just said, no, this person dropped out. So to me, it's you kind of got to go into it. You got to go into it and you're going to finish it. You know what I mean? Yes, it's hard. Absolutely it is. But you have to go in and then I'm going to finish it. I'm going to start something and I'm going to finish it. So with that being said, you have to kind of go in there, because who wants to pay all this money or do all the things and then just quit? You know what I mean? Or just not do it. I mean, depending on your situation, if you're ill or, again, we understand situations happen, but you kind of have to go into it thinking that might not happen, that you yourself are going to make it happen. That makes sense? There's never a good time. And I like to say, whoa, got really bright. I like to say, again, I've said this before, it's like pregnancy. There is no good time to get pregnant. There's no good time to do a competition. So working around the show date. So again, my show date was May 20th. I knew that winter, spring, fall, I knew, prime example, my sister's birthday. My sister's birthday's in March. I knew that going into it, I wouldn't be able to celebrate with her. So that was a sacrifice that I was willing to make, because again, I had this focus on the show. So, you know what I mean? Being pregnant, you're gonna be large in photos. You're gonna be not able to partake in things. It's kind of like that. So if that gives you an insight, that is a con, but it's also if you really want it, you really want it. So that's kind of a situation. Another con is you're gonna be looked at oh, why can't you have that? You're gonna have the people who don't understand it and not be jealous of you, but kind of might not support you and might be oh, you're one of those, or they already have this preconceived notion of who you are, etc., etc. So you kind of have to put up that wall barrier to know that no, I'm doing this for myself and nothing can stop me. You know what I mean? So gotta be aware of that. Another con is that you might get a keto rash. Another con is, again, you're gonna be tired. You're going to be, going to having a nap on the couch, or not a nap. You're just your eyes are heavy. You're gonna be tired. You're gonna be drained. You're not gonna have the energy that you once had. You know what I mean? So that at the end of the day is kind of again, I'm not trying to steer you away, but this is reality, right? You're going to be tired. You're going to be hungry. You're going to be irritated. You're going to be anything bothers you, you're going to be all about that. So kind of be aware of that, because even I, in it thinking, I was oh no, I'm totally going to be okay. No, there was moments where I would snap and I was whoa, that's just, I need to cool it down. You know what I mean? So There's that. Another con is, again, the comparison game. You are going to compare yourself. You are going to look, I don't know what's wrong with my hair today, but you are going to look at other quote unquote competitors, or you're going to look at social media. Again, social media is a highlight reel. We need to establish that. We are going to show our best photos, our best everything. It's like a collage of everything. No one is going to, I mean, you can, but no, not really. People that you follow are going to put like a bad photo up there. Do you know what I mean? So again, you're going to think like, wow, my quads are not as developed, my lats or my shoulders, my, you know, like all the things, like, am I gonna look, you know, whatever. On show day, you're gonna have to kind of get rid of that because you did all the work. There's nothing left you can do except for just being judged on the stage, right? Like if you look at a competitor and you can say, oh, they're delts, like there's nothing you can do. You guys are ready to go on stage, you're gonna get judged, right? You did the hard work, you put in the work, and that's what it is. Cons to bodybuilding is you're getting judged. So no matter how hard you think you are, you probably in your mind think you did great, and then the judge will say no. And you're just like, what? Like that happened to Karina, right? Like she looked amazing, but it wasn't good enough. So it's like, okay, that can kind of mentally screw you up a little bit here and there. Another con is, I guess, if you don't have a good relationship with food, you should definitely not do this. You have to get into a good relationship with food and knowing that this is only temporary. You have to change that mindset that this a show or anything like that when it comes to bodybuilding, to actually step on stage as a competitor, as a side to an actual lifestyle kind of life, you have to understand that there is going to be an extreme. I told a lot of people, I said from January 1st to May 1st that was my favorite time. May 1st to May 20th, not my favorite. But again, there's an extreme because that's what you had to do for the show. So I was willing to put myself through that, if that makes sense, because that was the end goal. And that's when my coach said, like, we need to get you leaner. We need to get you like all the things, right? So that's what it takes to do that, if that makes sense. Hopefully it makes sense. The cost. Cons to a bodybuilding competition is the cost. You are going to have to pay for a membership to be in this thing. You're going to have to pay for categories in this thing. You're going to have to pay for a coach, a meal plan, the food, the amount of food that you're going to eat, your suit, your jewelry, your hair, your makeup, your spray tan, your shoes, for the females, the men, whatever. You are going to have some money aside, or like constantly know that this is money, right? So, and to me, I think it's a huge con if you're gonna do something and you're gonna ask people to like ask for a GoFundMe. To me, that is absolutely ridiculous. If you cannot afford to do a bodybuilding competition, please do not do it. Don't ask for people for money. That is absolutely ridiculous. Like, again, that would be like me, like, oh, I want to get a haircut. I want someone to style my hair, but I'm going to start a GoFundMe so somebody can do it. If you can't do something, then don't do it. You know what I mean? Like, that to me is absolutely silly. This is a very, a lot of people like to say expensive sport. Yes, it definitely is. Absolutely. Especially if you want to make it to the big leagues. Like amateur, I feel like it's still pretty like, a little bit decent. But again, I can do another video of like breaking down the costs for what it costs for me. I kind of don't want to do that video because I'm like, oh, I don't even want to deal with it. I don't even want to hear the numbers, but if you guys really want it, I will lay it all down for you guys. So let me know in the comments down below, like this video so that I know. And last con, I think I mentioned before, keto rash. You could have like a sensitivity to food. There was a lot of people, you know, with women, I can't speak for the men, I just know for the women, like, and that's another video that I wanted to do is like, I feel like doing this a bit older. I had this conversation with a girl at the gym. We were talking about it and she's like, I cannot. She was 20, she's 22, 21. And she's like, you know, I could never do that. I said, I personally wouldn't want you to do one. Like, I think the younger, especially for women, I'm not talking for the men, I'm talking about women, like women who are younger, your hormones, your menstrual cycle, like if you ain't having a menstrual cycle, it's a little bit questionable. You need to realize like, no, you need to have a menstrual cycle every single month. If you're not consistent, there's something wrong. And I'm going to say that I'm not a doctor, but that is not okay. You know, people who have thyroids, you know, checking your blood work, like you have to be decent because again, I didn't have the menstrual cycle screw up for me. It kind of did near the closer. That's why I said like May 1st to May 20th was kind of a situation where I didn't like it, because again, I was supposed to get my period on show day. I got it 2 weeks earlier. So I had my period and then a week and a half later I got it again. And I was like, what? So again, it's not okay. Do you know what I mean? So you need to get your hormones in check. You need to get like, again, there could be food sensitivities, right? Like I needed to eat more carbs and I was depleted from carbs and my body was telling me this is not okay. So I got a rash, right? Like, and now it's gone. But it's like, you know, if it again happens again, I'm gonna have to think about that. There are people that I know that have like, again, food sensitivities, like people couldn't digest chicken, you know, and it's like, ooh, like you need to eat that, right? So it's like, you got to, that's why I say like older, because when you're younger, it's like, I feel like you haven't lived life, and B, like your body hasn't, you know, the hormones and everything to eat all the food, and then you're just cutting food. Like that's a huge con. You're cutting food. You should never cut food, but for this industry in this situation, you're going to cut it. I personally don't believe in cutting food, but this was the extreme, if that makes sense. Oh, sorry. One more con is posing. You need to get your posing down. You could try to do posing. Like I don't know how many sessions I did with posing, but like if you do not have that down, you're gonna look silly on stage. Like that's another thing, is like posing is very hard. And you have to, it's a craft, you have to practice it all the time. I did it once a week and then I did it on my own, but even that, like, it's hard, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to steer you away, but that's like, that's a thing that you need to take investment in. I think I talked enough cons for this show, for bodybuilding in general. We're gonna talk about the pros of doing a bodybuilding competition. Let's just start by the simple fact. Who doesn't wanna go on stage in heels, a sparkly bikini, glamorous, looking your best, knowing that you did the hard work, losing the weight? And when I say losing the weight, I did not lose this weight fast. I feel like, I mean, technically fast, like near the end, yes, I was a little bit fast, but I genuinely lost about 1 to 2 pounds a week. And I think that's very sustainable, very doable. I'm currently, I think about 12, 15 pounds heavier, which is okay for me. I knew that again, I think that's another mind thing, is that you have to get over the number on the scale. You have to get over that you're not gonna have these abs forever. You're not gonna have these muscles, this thin skin, all the things for a very long time. Like your body needs the fat. Like, and that was another con, was that being cold all the time. That was such a con. You're constantly cold. You're constantly like trying to warm up and all the things. Anyways, a pro is to know that you put in the hard work, to know that, you know, I did that. You know what I mean? It's like, again, 2% of the people actually stick with it. You don't want to be a quitter. You want to be that person that steps on stage. Another pro is the satisfaction that you were able to do something hard. We can all do hard things. We can all do it. As much as like you're telling your mind not to do it. Like I just know that I got compliments at the gym. People would look at me and be like, damn, you look good. Like I can see the weight loss, you know, all the things, you're working hard. They knew I was doing a show. They were really supportive. And that's another pro, is like you have the support from your family. I did. I know like maybe not a lot of people will have, but I knew that my parents were like behind me 100%. And my kids, oh my gosh, I don't even want to cry, but they were like, you can do this, mama. Like you have to go to the gym. Like she's like, you know, cause she would be like, you can't eat that right now, because she's like, you know, you got this. Like, and just even showing her the pictures after, she's like, mama, you look so beautiful. Like she was excited. Another pro is your why. Is why are you wanting to do this? I don't know. I've always wanted to look like the people on Instagram. I've always wanted to look like, even movie stars. I have told this to people. Movie stars do this as well, because they have to aesthetically look like that for television or for the movies. So again, when they're done, right? Like it's the same thing. Like who wouldn't want to better themselves? And again, this is like a lifestyle kind of thing in a sense, because it's like you did all this dieting, okay, you got to the lowest point, and then now we bring it back slowly. You know, again, I'm eating like 2,500 calories right now, and I'm feeling great. I have the energy. Like I played soccer the other day and I played the whole game. Insane. Again, it's like you can't live. This is not forever. And that's a huge pro, is that there's a start to a finish, and you don't have to do this forever, because it's not sustainable. It's not. Like you know, you can come back and build muscle and then, you know, again, do the whole cycle. That's why bodybuilding is like that. You have an off season or bulking, whatever the term is, you reverse diet, you're eating lots, and then you go to nothing, and then you bring it back up, and then you go to nothing, right? That's how the cycle goes. If you're in a surplus, if you're eating whatever, you're not going to lose weight. You know what I mean? If you're not exercising, if you're not exercising and you're eating like nothing, I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's like a balance, you know what I mean? So there's that. The amount of water, that's a huge pro. Like, again, I drink the water, but I didn't drink the amount of water that I did here, right? Like it kind of shifts your habits, if that makes any sense, to want to do better, to, you know, show your best and know that you worked hard, if that makes any sense. Another pro is the friendships, the relationships, the amount of people that I got to know and still in contact with and message and here and there is absolutely amazing. Like there's such a good community in the bodybuilding world. Like, I mean, like I said before, there are some people that are not so nice, but there are people who are gems. And again, I think I mentioned that in my video, these people are absolutely amazing. They're supportive. The people who will support you. And those people you gotta keep hanging on to, or tell them that you're stuck with them for life, and then that's a good thing. Just the fact that like you get to buy new clothes, hello, like you get to like buy smaller sizes, you know what I mean? Like you get to like, again, I wasn't buying super small size. There was some pieces like jean shorts I had to buy because I was like, girl, we cannot be running these streets, you know what I mean? So I don't know, just feeling confident, like the pictures you take, you know, because there was times where I'd be like, you know, I don't think I look good, all the things. And my coach would reel it back in and be like, no, look where you started and look where you're at. Like, come on. And I was like, okay. Like, I kind of like, because again, you don't see it, but other people see it right around you, telling you the compliments and telling you, you know, to keep going, to keep doing it. I don't know. Another pro is just to keep telling yourself that, you know, you can do it. Listening to motivational things. Like I said, I listened to worship music when I was doing the amount of cardio that I did. It helped me get through it. Just the amount of love. Again, this is hard work. People notice it and people are inspired. Like I didn't realize how inspiring, I say that in air quotes because I didn't realize how inspiring I was, like until people were like, you know, you're an inspiration, you're doing this, like you're truly like a great single mom. And I was like, wow, like I literally didn't, I was doing it for myself, right? I wanted to do it for myself. I wanted to just prove myself that I can do something really hard and really mentally tough. You are more than capable than you are. Like you need to keep telling yourself that. I genuinely think that's it. It was on my mind for a while to do this video, so I really wanted to do it. I really wanted to sit down and chat with you guys and let you guys know my thoughts. But that is the end of this video. I might write more down in the comments or on the screen when I'm editing this and thinking about it. But hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully this gives you an insight. Give this video a like, thumbs up if you liked it. Comment below on what your thoughts are on pros and cons to the show. If I totally missed the mark or I hit the nail on the head, let me know. I'd greatly appreciate it. And please don't forget to subscribe to this channel so we can grow, and hit that notification bell on when I upload next. That would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I genuinely really appreciate it. And you guys listen to me ramble, do all the things, and sit down with you guys and talk. This is what I do it for. I love to share my experiences and get the word out there with that. So I love you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next video.